I always thought the woods behind my grandma's house were just ordinary trees hiding the usual secrets, broken bottles, old wrappers, maybe a deer skull if you were lucky. But when the sun was setting yesterday, I tripped over something half buried in the moss, a leather-bound diary, swollen from the damp. The first page was dated almost 100 years ago, all shaky handwriting and faded ink. But the further I flipped, the more recent the entries became. And then I saw today's date, scrawled in ink that hadn't even dried yet. I remember reading that last entry, my own handwriting, though I had never touched the pen. It described me, right down to the scar on my hand, the old sneakers, the purple hoodie. And then it described what would happen to me tonight. How I'd scream and no one would hear, how the air would freeze in my lungs, and how it would come for me when the moon hit the clearing. I laughed it off. I mean, how could someone write about my death before it happened? But the more I read, the colder I felt. The woods seemed to lean in around me, listening. Just to prove it was all a joke, I went back out tonight, right where the diary said it would happen. The moonlight painted the clearing silver, and my breath puffed like ghosts. I even brought the diary, planning to film a TikTok for laughs. Look, I didn't die, internet. But as the wind picked up, the words on the page began to shimmer, bleeding and shifting until they spelled out new sentences. My flashlight flickered, and I heard something moving in the brush, something that sounded exactly like my own footsteps, echoing back at me. I turned to run, but the woods weren't the same. Paths twisted, trees closed in, and the diary grew heavier in my hands, almost burning. The last thing I saw before the world went dark was my own reflection in the diary's glossy page, mouth open in a silent scream, eyes wide with terror. Now, if you find this diary in the woods, you'll see a new entry in your handwriting. And you'll know exactly how your story ends, because the woods will make sure of it.